the complete guide on how to bring your business online, telling your business story. Remember that the same way people have personalities, the same way businesses have brains. Watch this video to learn how to define your brain or enhance an existing one so you can be more consistent in how you talk about your company. Find out what a brain is and how to start creating or refining your own. Check out our tips and tricks on how to use the EPIC process framework to connect your brand with not only existing and prospective customers, but consumers in general. Ready to tell your business story? If yes, tune in now. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I'm very happy to have you today. I'm doing just fantastic. The whole team is just happy to have you around. If you are doing as great as we are, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. Today we want to talk about how to tell your business story, and this is part of the series that we are putting on the whole topic of how to bring your business online. Now, first, let's define what a brand is. A brand is the collection of association that people have about a product or business, right? As I said earlier, people have personalities, businesses have brains. So your brain helps determine how people feel about your business and how they would describe it to others. A brand is more than just a logo, right? It includes the style, the communication, the behavior around the company and around everything that the company does and how it speaks its mind to the public. Your brand should be consistent everywhere customers interact with your business. This includes its physical location, if it has a headquarters, and its online presence, like its website, social media page, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube account. The brand also includes its marketing materials. Now, it is very important to note that a consistent brand will help people recognize your business no matter where they interact or connect with it, whether it is online or offline, right? So the brand is key. This is the cornerstone of your business. This is the identity of your business. A well-defined brand can help your business be consistent and recognizable in its interactions with people. So after defining what a brand is, let's now talk about the legal separation between your brand and your business. A lot of folks make the confusion between brand and business, and we need to sort of restore the truth, if you will. Now, a company can have several brands. So you can have a single legal entity, so a company, but that company has several brands. If you take all the big multinationals, starting from Alphabet, the mother company, the parent company of Google, the Alphabet has several brands. Similarly, your company can have several brands. So you could base your brand on the niche or audience segment you target, right? So if you can have a company and say, listen, I'm going to target the teenagers and I'm going to use this brand. And if I'm targeting young adults, I'm using another brand. If I'm targeting folks in their 30s and 40s, I'm using another brand. And if I'm targeting seniors, I'm using a fourth brand. You want to make your brands as distinct as possible so you can avoid the phenomenon that marketing specialists called cannibalization. So you don't want one brand to actually encroach on the turf of another brand. That happens a lot if you have several brands. But if you differentiate exactly the brand and the target market, you can avoid this cannibalization effect. You also want to make sure that your brand fits with your business values, culture, mission, and vision. A brand, as I said earlier, is the company's identity, right? So a company's identity has to be in sync with its values, culture, mission, and vision. Another thing you want to do here is that in thinking about bringing your business online and telling your business story and exposing your brand and highlighting your brand, make sure the brand is consistent whenever you use it. I don't care if it's online or offline, across multiple platforms. You want to have consistency. You want to have harmony. You want to have harmony in terms of message, in terms of color, in terms of visuals, the whole 9 yards. All right. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We're still having a conversation today about how to tell your business story. And in the first segment, I was just talking to you about what the brand is and explaining to you the legal separation between brand and business. Now, let's talk about why branding is important. Before I do so, please smash the like button and the share button and the comment button if you appreciate the content so far and you like the value we're adding to your life or your business. And also consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell. We provide this kind of shows every single day across on a variety of topics. Okay, now why branding is important. Branding is essential to any business, large or small, because of the overall impact it makes on the company. Now, branding, as I said earlier, can change how people perceive your brand. It can drive new business and increase brand awareness. Now, it doesn't matter whether your business is local or global. Chances are, even if your business is local, it might compete or is already competing with a foreign competitor, right? So the brand has to be conceived and implemented with a global vision. Branding gets recognition. Now, the most important reason branding is important to a business is that the company gets recognition and becomes known to the customers. The logo, of all things, is the most important element of branding, especially where this factor is concerned, because a logo represents, if you will, the face of the company. This is why you really want to spend money on crafting a professional logo. You want to have a design that is powerful, easily memorable, that makes a great impression, a great first impression. You also want to have printed promotional products, which are a great way of getting this across. Now, there are a lot of platforms. You don't have to spend hundreds of dollars unless you have the budget for it on getting a logo. But there are a lot of platforms on the internet that allow you to get a logo at an affordable price, especially when the designer, when the freelancer is located overseas. Now, branding is also important because it supports advertising. Now, advertising is a key component to branding, and advertising strategies will directly reflect the brand and its desired portrayal, right? So let's take an advertising technique such as the use of promotional products from trusted companies. They make it very easy to create a cohesive and appealing advertising strategy that plays well into your branding goals. So what you want to do here is that if your brand is more of a cool, informal, sort of youth-oriented, if your brand has that sort of ethos, that sort of motto, you want to reflect that in your advertising. Branding also increases business value. Now, if you try to generate future business, if you have a strongly established brand, this could increase the business value by giving the company more leverage in the industry. And this makes it more appealing investment opportunity because of its firmly established place in the marketplace, right? Because branding is linked to identity, and identity is linked to what? Reputation. So the higher and better the reputation, the more business opportunities there are for your company. Branding also generates new customers. If you have a great brand, chances are you'll never have problems drumming up referral business, because strong branding generally means there is a positive impression, again going back to what I said earlier about reputation, of the company among current customers, and those customers are likely to do business with you because of the familiarity and assumed dependability of using a name they can trust, right? Once a brand is well established, word of mouth will be the company's best and most effective advertising technique. Now, let me just qualify that. I think this sort of applies across the board. Some strong brands still want to advertise. It's part of their business model and business strategy. I'm thinking of Coca-Cola, for instance. Coca-Cola is one of the best brands globally, hands down, yet they still advertise 24/7. So, but I'm just saying overall, the more established a brand is, the less time and the resources it needs to spend in terms of drumming up new business, because things happen through repeat business or word of mouth. Branding also improves employee pride and satisfaction. Think about it. If you're an employee working for Google or Facebook, or those big companies, tech companies, it's fantastic, right? So if an employee works for a strongly branded company and truly stands behind the brand, he or she will be more satisfied with his or her job and have a higher degree of pride in the work done. So working for a brand that is reputable and held in high regard amongst the public makes working for that company more enjoyable and fulfilling. So you want to have a branded office. You want to have a branded, branded office, branded workplace. So this can help employees feel more satisfied and have a sense of belonging to the company. And you can also do that by allowing the employees to use promotional merchandise for the desktop, right? They can wear t-shirts, or they can have like mouse pads, all of those things emblazoned to the logo of the company. Strong branding also is wonderful because it creates trust within the marketplace. If you have a professional appearance and well strategized branding, that will help your company build trust with your customers, potential clients, and vendors, by the way. And I guess what I'm trying to say here is that a strong brand creates a professional image across the board when it comes to interacting with the key stakeholders, those being customers, suppliers, regulators, investors, bankers, and so on and so forth. So people are more likely to do business with a company that has a polished and professional portrayal. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We are having a wonderful conversation today around branding, how to tell your business story, and how to bring your business online. And I want to talk to you now about how to create a brand for your business. Now, when it comes to, before we talk about creating the brand for the business, let's talk about what I call the epic element in your business story, the brand framework. So before you establish a business presence online, it's a good idea to define your brand, because this essentially is helping you or anybody you hire on the project to keep your messaging consistent, especially if you won't be the only one seeing it or the only one creating it. Now, the framework we're sharing with you today is called the EPIC. We have come up with that. And basically, EPIC stands for existence, purpose, identity, and connection. So those are the four elements that should guide your creation of the brand. Now, existence. What is existence? The creation story of your business is a great place to begin defining your brand. You want to ask yourself a few questions. When did you launch? When did your company start operating? What problem did you try to solve? How do you solve that problem now? Right? You can also associate your brand with a few images. So this sort of defines the existence of the brand. Now, the purpose. The purpose of the company includes what you do and why you do it. That's the meaning. I would say that's the essential meaning behind the existence of your business. You can actually even go further by saying this is why we exist. This is why we operate. This is why we are in business. This is our nature. This is our values. Another thing you want to think about is identity. Now, so we're talking about existence, purpose, and now identity. Now, your brand's visual identity is the look and feel of your business, right? This includes the visual cues that help people remember and recognize it. You can actually do a lot of stuff to communicate your brand's visual identity. You can use your logo. You can also use a palette of colors that you use at your physical location and in your marketing materials. You can also create a collage of images to help communicate your identity to people who help you with your marketing. All right. And the last letter here that's the C, connection. Now, you want to think about the voice you use for your brand. This is how you connect with your customers. Is it a serious voice or a funny voice? Is it formal or casual? or maybe anywhere in between? Is it respectful? It is, irreverent? Is it enthusiastic or matter of fact? Those are examples. You gotta define that, because everything is linked, everything is correlated, everything is interrelated, right? So for instance, if you are in the banking industry or financial services, I think you want to go with something respectful and formal, right? I mean, not too serious, because you still have, talk to people, but you want to be formal, respectful, and maybe serious. Yeah, serious, of course, yeah. But if you are in the entertainment industry, you want to be a little funny, a little casual, a little irreverent, right? So this is basically it. So folks, this is today's conversation here. We are actually closing the show today now. Let me quickly recap what we talked about today. I explained to you what a brand is. I showed you that you need to understand the legal separation between your brand and your business, to know why branding is important, and to create a brand for your business. And in creating a brand for your business, you want to articulate that by focusing on 4 elements, as I said: existence, purpose, identity, and connection. Now, before I just wrap today's show, please remember that you can always hire a professional to create your logo and strategize over your company's branding, right? You don't need to break the bank. There are platforms, as I said earlier, out there where you can get a quality logo at an affordable price. If you don't have a knack for designing or any kind of a creative talents, if you don't have creative talents, it's just better to outsource it. All right. I will talk to you next time. Thank you so much for listening to us, and I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.